finally came to your senses.
This is what my daughter owes, so it's the end of it.
You're making the rules now? Oh, Mom? Nice. You give lessons out here? Horse lessons? I always wanted to ride a horse, and I just recently came into some money, so...
I never want to see you in this property ever again. You understand me?
It must be awful.
What?
Having a kid like that.
And that's a clip from Echo Valley. It's a new movie that stars Julianne Moore, Sydney Sweeney, and the wonderful Domhnall Gleeson. Hello, Domhnall, how are you?
I'm really good. How are
And then
you?
when I say wonderful, clearly you're not that wonderful in this movie.
How do you mean?
Well, what I mean is...
That can mean a lot of
no,
different
what I mean
things.
is you are very good in the picture.
Good.
The character that you play, as we just heard,
Yeah.
has well, how would you describe Jack?
I would say what he says in that clip is quite empathetic. He's empathizing with her. He's saying it must be awful.
Here's the thing that I've learned about empathy. Just because you're empathetic, it doesn't mean you're using that for good.
Oh.
You can
yeah, true.
you can use all that empathy and realize how you can exploit someone.
Do you know, I think that's very true of Jackie. We've been on the trail a little bit talking about it. And sometimes you realise more afterwards than you did at the time. But I think like one of the things he's really good at is finding someone's like their vulnerability. He just knows it immediately, and when he finds it, he will get everything he can. Like he'll exploit that to the most of his ability. And I think that's probably how he sees the world, is in terms of power rankings. Is he above or below? And if he's above, how can he get the most from the person below him?
Yeah.
And I think he just recognises she's on the hook. She loves her daughter way too much. We can get what we want from her.
Yeah, I think it's very useful advice. Just as you go through life, just remember that someone who might be an empath might be using it for all the wrong reasons.
Could also be a psychopath.
Yeah. And are you a psychopath? I mean, it's a whole new look for you. You're looking like a psychotic Ronan Keating. That's how I would have.
Or just Ronan Keating.
Or
No,
just-
that's a joke. I've never met Ronan Keating.
You got long blonde hair, and
Yeah.
you have. But anyway, introduce us to Jackie, and then how he fits into Echo Valley.
Well, so in terms of how he fits in, the film is primarily about Julianne Moore and Sydney Sweeney. Julianne is the mother to Sydney Sweeney. She's running a sort of a horse farm. She's in debt. She's in grief. And her daughter is not helping matters. Her daughter, who she loves deeply, is an addict and needs a lot of help. And things get pretty bad for her over the course of the film. My character turns up at a certain point, and he is a dealer to Sydney's character, and he just spots a weakness and a place where he feels he can do well, and he inveigles his way into their setup, and that's kind of where he comes from.
Yeah. So, normally when I see you, I don't see you as like a particular... I mean, we can argue about whether he's thoroughly nasty or just mainly nasty, but I would imagine you had quite a lot of fun playing Jackie.
Yeah, it's interesting. I played... I did a TV show with Steve Carell about... I don't know, 2.5 years ago now, called The Patient, in which I played a serial killer.
Yeah, I mean, that's on balance not nice.
No, depends who you're killing, but yeah, for the most part, not nice. And it was actually the most relaxed I'd ever been at work, and the most I'd enjoyed my work ever.
That's worrying.
And I think it's to do with the fact that I got everything out at work. It was like you just go and it's so active that I just felt like it all kind of, you got it out during the day. You'd arrive home, you'd sleep, rest easy.
So when you got home, you weren't feeling like a serial killer.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Because I still mainly associate. I mean, maybe this is just because of when you come on the show. When you were in Goodbye, Christopher Robin. That's how I think of you. You see. Somewhere between that, Star Wars, and Harry Potter, and About Time.
Yeah.
So less serial killer, more nice Domhnall.
Yes, yeah. No, I think some of those characters. I mean, whatever. I mean, I had pretty small parts in Star Wars and Harry Potter, but like in something like
There's no such thing, I think, as a small part.
No, sorry, yes, but no, fair enough. But, not the largest role in the thing. But like in something like Ex Machina or other things that I've sort of, some people know me from, those characters are like carrying a lot and there's a lot happening to them and they're under a lot of pressure and they kind of have to take it. And so those are the ones that worm into your head and follow you home and you kind of can't shake the feeling of being under someone else's thumb. And even Jackie in this film, he's under pressure from a lot of other people. That's part of what I find interesting about him. But what he's doing in the film is holding other people under his thumb. And so there's something, I don't know, it just doesn't follow you around as much for some reason.